before coming to the Met, I attended Roger Williams Middle School. I was planning on going to classical, like most people from Providence, Rhode Island, but I really suck at math, so I failed the test. So they placed me at Central High School, and I was not trying to go to Central. There was nothing in this world that was going to make me go to that school. So randomly, one of my friends was like, she's going to open house, and I was like, open house for high school? She's like, yeah, an open house. So I'm like, all right, I'll come with her. So I decided to go with her. I went, I didn't really get it, but it was better than Central, and it sounded cool, so I was like, all right. I talked to my mom about it. We did the application process, and I got accepted to the Met. Ninth grade year, as everybody said, was very, very interesting. I was not very familiar with the school, so everything about it was new to me. I didn't have one constant teacher every day pestering me, bothering me, following me, calling me, stalking me, like I had Andrew. So everything was really, really weird. Freshman year was it was kind of a struggle for me, I want to say. I got kicked out of advisory. I got kicked out of my internship, and it was just really, really bad. But I decided that ninth grade that I was going to leave the school and go to another school for a sophomore year. But everybody was saying that if you go to another school, then you're going to be a ninth grader, and my mom wasn't having that. So 10th grade, I came back to the Met. One of my first impressions of the Met when I first walked in ninth grade year was we had a pick-me-up, the first pick-me-up ever, and what they did was the advisors had to tell a secret about themselves, and we had to guess which advisor did what. So Andrew's card was that he once ate maggots, and everybody in my advisory was so mad when we were walking upstairs because he was like, gosh, we had to get the Maggie dinner, why couldn't we get... Everybody was so mad. We was like, why couldn't we get Carlos? And then, and then to top it off, he had this car. It was a blue car. It was very, very blue. I think it was a Toyota, and he had McDonald's stickers all over the car, like glued on every inch of the car. And he would pick us up from home if we were in trouble. He would bring us to our LTIs, and like when we came, because we like to come to school late. And so he used to personally come and pick us up every morning if we were late in the car. So by the second, third quarter, everybody was pretty much on time. And it was just awkward. It was just really, really bad. And I was like, we gave Andrew hell. We locked him out of advisory. We moved his car so he would think he was going crazy. We would just do the meanest things. And every day, like Doc said, Andrew would come back with a smile on his face. And we were just like, okay, he's really not going anywhere, guys. So we just had to kind of bear with him, I guess. The hardest thing to get used to at the Met was, again, it was the advisory, and it was the advisor. It was if you're not here at 9 o'clock and it's 9:30, how they call your house or they call your cell phone and they ask you where you're at. Usually we get a recording and we just delete it before our parents get home. So now this time it was like, there's no way we can escape it. There's no bunking. There's no anything. It was just so structured and so family-oriented. Like, my mom had Andrew's number, which was so annoying because she called for everything. He called for everything. And it was just so hard coming from tradition to non-traditional. And it was just interesting. The best things about being a student at the Met, the best thing was my advisory and my advisor. Freshman year, I had one particular advisory mate, Bennett, that I hated with every part of my body. Like, every time I walked into class and I saw him, my day just got worse. And I really, really disliked him almost as much as I disliked Andrew. And it was just really, really bad. But towards senior year, with just everybody growing, we all got along very, very great. Me and Bennett, his name was Bennett, we became like the best of friends. Like, I loved him, and he was one of my favorite people ever to grace my life. And one particular memory I have of me and him is freshman year, we'd argue every day, bicker, back and forth, yell. And senior year, I had a senior thesis project. My senior thesis project was to teach a health class at the Met. And me, him, and Andrew decided to go to Walmart to get condoms and candy for my assignment because it was sex education. So we were teaching how to properly put on a condom, how to prevent things and stuff like that. So we get to the checkout line, and it's just me, him, and Andrew, and like this bag, this grocery cart full of condoms, full of candies, and we're like, me and Bennett are looking at each other like, Bennett, we have to get him. What are we gonna do? And I'm putting the things on the checkout stand, and Bennett comes out of nowhere with like a handful of lubes and looks at Andrew and is like, see, Dad, I told you they had lube. And, and everybody everybody that was standing there was in complete shock. It looked it looked really crazy. What I liked about the Met is that was something that I was very passionate about, was health education, because a lot of people were at risk because they didn't know how to properly do things. And my mom was a very traditional, old school Christian, and there's no way that she would have accepted me talking about condoms and sex. Abstinence is all she thought about. So we had to, my exhibitions, we had to try to like go around what I was doing. So it was like, used to stand there, I was like, yeah, so my senior thesis project, I'm gonna do a health class on health issues, and that's all I'd say. And there was like, I did activities that I did because some of the activities had to be senior thesis project based. So I did the ones that were kind of like, she would know, but she wouldn't. So we did like a water experiment where some people had vinegar, some people had cups, and they would like trade off. And that was kind of like exchanging sex partners. And we tested at the end, and we seen how many people contracted fake HIV. So it was like, she don't know what's going on, but she does. So she probably thinks it's HIV. But even though my mom was against it, Andrew still not like pushed me into the wrong direction. But it was something that I was passionate about. So we found ways to make sure that I did something that I wanted to give back to the community, and I did something that I liked, and we found ways around it, which was pretty cool. The people besides my advisor that helped me a lot was my principal, Nancy. Freshman year, we didn't really get along, but by the end of the senior year, she was great. Don was my college counselor guy, dude, and he was really good. Carlos was always around, always helping as well, Doc and everybody else. Sorry about the ums. And now I'm going to talk about like my internship experiences and stuff. I was always interested in children and medicine, and I thought I wanted to be a pre-med major, but that was wrong when I got to college. After I failed biology like 3 times, I decided maybe that's not the route for me. I had internships at Miriam Hospital, working in the emergency room with the RN. I had an internship at the family van, which was the van that drove around in the community, giving like blood pressure and diabetes treatment and screenings to people who couldn't afford it. I also volunteered at the Hasbro Emergency Room, and I had an internship at Youth in Action. Also at the Met, I took advantage of a lot of opportunities that they had to offer. I did a lot of college classes. I did a lot of like PSTEP, just different programs that just helped you overall, that helped me get my scholarship. I also, one of my friends, LaQuise, she's in college supervisory. When we're in college, what she always used to call me is the Met head, because no matter what, I always talked about the Met, or I always was going to the Met. And she's like, gosh, Sam, you love that place. Why don't you go live there? And I'm like, I'm trying to live there, but I don't think they have housing. And so in college, what the Met helped me do was, me and Anissa, we both came from the Met, and it was, usually people say when you come from the Met that school's going to be challenging, that we didn't learn anything, all this and that. Anissa, my roommate over there, she can wave. We both graduated on time after 4 years from Pine Manor College. We did an excellent job. We had honors, high honors, and we did great. And we were there for each other's emotional support. So we were president and class president of organizations of the grade, the junior year. We did different things that I would have never done if it wasn't for the Met, because I'm one of those people who, if I don't know something, I'm not gonna do it, and if I'm just not gonna do it at all, no matter what. And Andrew used to like beg me or call my mom and make us go to different trips that I didn't want to go to, or go to see different things, and that him opening my eyes to seeing different things that I didn't know I would like helped me in college to like venture out. I did alternative spring break, and I went to New Orleans, and we helped like rebuild houses. I was on roofs. I'm very afraid of heights. Like I just did things that I would have never done before if it wasn't for the Met, because of them not making me, well, encouraging me to do different activities. That followed me to college and helped me do different things. Again, like Laquise said, I'm a Met head, so I used to come down every chance I got, and I did Summer Infusion. Summer Infusion is a program that upcoming freshmen, they have. Sometimes it's, my year was 2 weeks, and it got shorter, but it's a program that freshmen come in and they do it for a week or how long it is, just to get them a little taste of I was gonna say pie manner, of the Met. And I did that every year up until now, every single year. Even while I was here, I volunteered there, and I came back every year. Senior year of my college experience, I did my internship in Tim's Advisory as like a student teacher, and one of the kids that he had two kids that really were like, they really didn't want to be in school. They really didn't know what they wanted to do, and like they were having difficulties. So I kind of like took them under my wing, sort of, kind of. And till this day, we still keep in touch. We still talk about school, personal issues, whatever's going on, and we still try to I still try to help them with their, like, if they have autobiographies, they send me all their work or what they're doing, what they're not doing. And sometimes I talk to the advisors, see what they didn't do, and they're like, hey Sam, can you tell him that he needs to do this and that? And I'm like, all right, and I call, and I'm like a nagging advisor just without getting paid, but I nag him, and it's just like something that I like something that's always going to be a part of me is my high school. If anybody that ever meets me, they always already know what high school I go to. They already know my story, because I just love talking about the Met. I don't want to sound corny or cliche, but this has been one of the best opportunities that was ever handed to me, was coming to the Met. It opened my eyes to like a whole lot of different things, and it also like branched me out. I don't know how my parents were going to pay for college. Because of Andrew's hard work and everybody else's around me, we got the Gates Scholarship, and I did school, and I'm going back to school, and it's just one of those great experiences. My plans for the future, I am enrolled in Rhode Island College now. I'm doing another year of undergrads in biology. And I'm going to take my MCATs in the summer of 2012, and in the fall of 2012, I'm going to be studying at Temple School of Medicine, and I'm going to get my degree, and I'm going to be a psychiatrist. My major was psychology,